Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Those Two Geeks. He's Alex. I'm Joe. I'm a little louder. I'm on the road, so it's going to be a little bit louder on my end, probably a little softer on Alex's end. Tonight, we're coming at you from a Monday night, which is very unusual, and we're just really doing a friendly check-in, just, to make sure that we don't lose our path. So, yeah, with that being said, Alex, we kind of just chatted a few moments ago. I didn't have a game plan for tonight, but rarely do we ever. I just figured we'd talk about some stuff. It is August 15th, which is a Monday, and It also is the last night of the Hiss Tank.
Is it really? What is the Hiss Tank at right now?
21,000 and change.
That's not.
I honestly thought it was going to be a lot higher.
I'm not gonna lie. I am surprised it's 21,000 and change. However, there's always going to be the last minute backers, but they've more than doubled what the final stretch goal was at this point.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah, well, they're at 24,000 backers right now.
Okay, so it's jumped a couple thousand in a few hours.
Yeah, so 24,000 with 3.5 hours left. I mean, it's obviously getting funded at this point, but I would be surprised if it didn't hit 25.
So here's
maybe
my
not.
thing.
We'll see.
It goes until 11:59.
Yeah.
And,
so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and it all. All right, let me finish my thought. No, it goes to 11:59, and it's always like even after like the clock ticks, stragglers come in from other revenue streams and things like that, like probably overseas, probably all that kind of stuff. So my guess is it will hit about 30,000.
I wouldn't be surprised. It's clearly a popular thing. Clearly it's not like Star Wars or the lightsaber or the Rancor where there was just no real desire for it. It's been popular from the get-go. The stretch goals have been fantastic. The presentations have been fantastic. It's this is, if you're going to do a HasLab on a vehicle or someone that isn't a character, this is the way to do it.
Exactly.
And you would think that the teams would learn from each other, and I think that the Legends team has probably got stuff to learn from this, and vice versa. Especially if it is indeed a Robbie Reyes Hell Charger coming out. Figure out the tiers early, reveal them early, and watch them get blown away.
Yeah, so let's keep it all Marvel-centric tonight. Well, not Marvel, Hasbro-centric. So, yeah, basically, they have a lot to learn from each other, and they can learn. I mean, it's like cross-pollination. They can do certain things that the G.I. Joe team is doing with the, and the Power Rangers can do the same thing. Marvel has a drop on the 20th coming, and I think it's going to be the announcement of the HasLab.
I think it's got to be. It doesn't make sense to have it be another bunch of pre-orders. I think with it being the announcement of the HasLab, Hasbro Pulse is coming up very soon. I think that's when we'll see a colored render.
Live. I think it will go live Hasbro Pulse. So
yeah, exactly.
They are going to drop on the 20th and say, hey, it's coming. This is what it's going to be. Get your wallet ready.
Exactly. I think, but by the time Hasbro Pulse comes, we'll see like a fully realized render of the product. I think you'll see it painted, digitally painted and everything. I think it's going to be so much more. There'll be so much more to it than how the Rancor was done, because frankly, that was a grayscale drawing or a grayscale model when it was revealed, and that also didn't do a lot to instill fans with any sense of wonder, because you're like, well, I'm not going to put money down on something that I don't know what it's going to look like.
Exactly. I think this thing's going to be a color render.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. So with that being said, Hasbro Marvel Legends team made some drops in the past week.
Mm-hmm.
And I ordered a good amount of them. But I wasn't super blown away by everything. I like what was dropped. And I sometimes like when they do stuff like this. So now we know that wave 2 of the Disney Plus is going to be a Khonshu Build-A-Figure, which I got to say, as much as I didn't like the character of Khonshu, the fucking Build-A-Figure looks aces, man.
Oh,
It
the
looks
Build-A-Figure looks
so
amazing.
good. So detailed, so brilliant. I'm just very impressed.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not fussed about, like the wave that they announced. Like, I'm really excited that they actually had the forethought to do more zombies. That was smart.
It was
and
smart.
In a wave. So now we've got, Wanda and we've got Tony as zombies, which is great. And then you've got Howard the Duck with Scott's head in the jar. So that can go with your zombies. And then you've got, your zombie hunter Peter, or your vampire hunter, your zombie hunter Peter from the previous wave. But I like this. This wave is balanced. It's really balanced. It's got He Who Remains, which is Kang, and I want that, so I grabbed him. They got Old Man Loki. I had to grab him.
Yep.
I got you, Howard the Duck.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. And then I grabbed the zombie Wanda and Tony. I think I'll end up collecting to get Khonshu, but he'll be a slow build for me. It's not something to rush out.
I think that this wave is clear. I think when you look at the Disney What If waves, it's really heavily geared toward the zombies.
Yeah,
this one especially the zombies, and then it seems to be Loki. This wave is split between the zombies and Loki, and then there's just Howard the Duck.
Yeah, exactly. And so, like I said, He Who Remains, though, is a definite. Oh, and then She-Hulk. She goes up, I think tomorrow, actually. I think she goes up on tomorrow, or she'll go up on the 20th. We got to remember her show comes out this week, so I have no doubt she'll go.
Yeah, I forgot all about that.
I'm looking very forward to her show. Very, very forward to it. So, yeah, I will absolutely get She-Hulk. Her face render and the early reviews I've seen of her, like in hand, she's gorgeous. The figure is so spot on. I'm like, wow, what a wonderful face sculpt.
Mm-hmm.
So, grabbing her. And I want a She-Hulk. I need a She-Hulk. I have not liked the two releases of She-Hulks that they've given us with the, Fantastic Four wave and the other wave with the tattered and the green. It just looks like shit. I want like a Jennifer Walters who's having fun, who's light and bubbly, and still a badass, and a great looking green woman. So that's what I want to see. But then they also found out that, remember, we had the Razorback and the Human Fly and all those weird all-ball characters.
I know.
Now we know they're in, and I did not expect that. And I'm not mad at it. I'm very fine with it. It's very reminiscent of the Wolverine 5-pack.
Yeah.
Where there's like 3 that you want, and then there's like 2 that you're like, nah, all right, whatever. But I found it interesting that it's all 616 with a Ultimate Spider-Man to go with it.
I know. So it's not like, I don't think that's a box set that I'll have to have. I would be in no rush for any of those characters anyway.
Right.
The only one I would be tempted by would have been Ultimate Spider-Man, but that's not the a definitive version of Spider-Man for me in that costume. If it was Ultimate Spider-Man in the red and blue,
I would
different matter, but
that. Yeah, he wasn't even in that costume very long. He was in it for an issue.
Right, like it's so infrequent that I just don't see. I just don't feel the need to rush for it.
Exactly, and then they have Razorback, who does look cool. But what I thought was really weird was Silvermane and Molten Man. That's so left field. Those are wanted characters. I'm like, why did they just chuck it in the box set?
Oh, I know.
Chuck it in the box set. They didn't even hype them up. They didn't even be like Silvermane. They didn't even get a reveal. It was just like, oh yeah, remember Human Fly and Razorback? These 2 guys are coming with them.
Yeah.
You need a person, man, and you definitely need Silvermane. Everyone's wanted Silvermane forever.
And the thing is, when you look at Silvermane, if you have the Speed Demon, right, like you can literally put that Silvermane on a beetle body and just paint it silver.
Yeah. It's really. I mean, I'm gonna get that. I know I am, but it's really cool that it was in a wave. Yeah, because I thought they would be type warmers elsewise. I'm like, I can't see people buying Razorback and Human Fly. Like, the stores are filled with the Bone Breaker wave right now. Filled. And when that goes on clearance, I'll grab them.
Yeah, I've only seen a couple of them here, and I'm still waiting for the Amazon pre-orders to come through for the other
I've seen them all now.
three. I have the Wolverine. I did find the Wolverine.
Yep, he's everywhere.
But like other than that, I haven't got the other ones yet. Sabretooth I'm waiting for.
Okay.
And I think I've got Havoc on the way. But the other, and Maggot. And the other two.
Okay, yeah, Maggot I haven't seen. I'm sorry, Maggot I did not see. But I've seen Havoc. I've seen Sabretooth, Logan, Darwin. Siren is everywhere. She's peg woman like
they basically admitted to there being another Siren.
Did they? I didn't remember.
Well, I said, this time there's no screaming head.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Right? Like when you admit that there's another one coming, and the only reason people are going to be buying this is for a builder figure, right. You're not gonna. It's not going to fly off the shelves. That isn't a builder figure like Apocalypse or God, I don't know, Juggernaut.
Yeah, were you successful in finding a pre-order for the Diamond Select Apocalypse?
No, I wasn't.
Oh shit! I only got one and it sold out. So
you know what? Like it'll come back at some point. Like I'll at the end of the day, I've still got the Ultimate or the Age of Apocalypse. And I feel like if I have to, I can get the
retro.
The retro, yeah.
I have the retro already on order for you.
Yeah, well, exactly. So we've got there's Apocalypse is somewhere, right? So
we've got options.
Exactly.
So I've kept that on order for you. I've got the Crow on order for you. He's supposed to be coming in October now, which is very apropos. $100 for him is it's gonna blow your mind when you have a Mezco figure in hand.
I'm part of me can't wait, and part of me like, oh, it's gonna be painful. It's gonna open the door, right?
Yeah, because my Wolverine Mezco just shipped, the Steelbox Wolverine with all the heads. It just shipped. Brett's already had his for like 2 weeks, and everyone else has had theirs. Mine took a while to come in.
I wonder what that is.
Big Bad Toy Store is where I ordered it this time. And they
okay.
Oh, with molasses lately. I'm still waiting on your Black Costume Spider-Man, the retro. Like
That's crazy.
I want to send you your package, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna send you your package next week if it's fucking.
It's gonna show up at some point, right? That's the thing. It will come in. It's just taking its time.
Right. Exactly. And so that's what I'll do. And I know for a fact. And again, you don't need to pay me back for these things. We're kind of getting each other back and forth.
Yeah, that's fair.
Hey, everything's going on. The Mojo set's gonna pop up real soon. I feel it.
Undoubtedly, yeah.
Because I already got charged for my Iron Spider from Entertainment Earth. He's on his way.
That's cool.
Well, I'm wicked happy because all the sites say December, so I'm getting him early. I'm super stoked, and that's the one I really wanted. But the 2-pack and they're saying December, November. I know that's bullshit. It's going to pop up September for sure. There's no question. Marvel doesn't have it. I mean, Hasbro don't have a schedule. They don't have a schedule anymore. They have a very loose schedule. They're basically the opposite of all the import companies. Where the imports are like, yeah, it's going to be out in March, and it comes out in like May and June.
It'll happen when it happens. It's okay, guys. Don't worry.
Yeah, Hasbro tends to be like, oh, you won't see this till January 2023. And then the next week, you see Instagram of people walking around with it on the store shelf. And that's not even high. Like, I remember they said Ahsoka wasn't coming out until July, and in January, she was on the shelf. And I was like, how is that even possible? It was like right after the stream, Ahsoka was on the shelf. I was like, what?
Like, that literally shouldn't be a thing.
No, it shouldn't be able to happen like that. I mean, I'm not ungrateful that it does. It's just kind of like, wow, that's a little cumbersome because you got to budget this shit, right?
Yep.
So if you're like me and you go on Big Bad Toy Store and it says you have 157 pre-orders pending, like, you're like, okay, I'm spacing them out. And then all of a sudden you're like, 3 came in when you were expecting none. I'm like, fuck. McFarlane. So like when I order it up Big Bad Toy Store, I know it's just kind of like a loose guideline because fucking like the Bane is coming in already. I'm like, damn it. Like 3 things came in and I had to cancel 2 because I was like, I wasn't expecting Wolverine. Go figure, Mezco kept him on time. I'm like, oh, come on. And he was changed. He was like 150. So I said, nah, I got to cancel Rhino and I got to cancel Bane for now. So I put myself on like the 3rd wave of Rhino. Rhino will be in September, but they said that already, and I already got like in stock. So I'll probably get them in stock again next week. But that's all right.
Yeah, and the thing is too is that half the time you're getting this stuff, and it's like you don't really know when it's coming anyway. It's at most the best guess scenario. I just found Apocalypse, by the way.
Okay, so the other thing, by the way, is they leave you with the tease like they always do on every stream. And this one was pretty more straightforward. It was basically a head in a jar. It looked like a moloid, and it looks like it's from the Future Foundation.
Well, that'd be cool.
My guess is dollars to donuts. It's going to be a Dragon Man wave.
I would not be surprised because only way they could do Dragon Man now would be as a builder figure or a deluxe.
Now that's my thing. He won't be a deluxe. That's my thing. They'll do the build a figure wave, and you're going to get some characters. Like I don't like every character in Future Foundation, so I will bite the bullet and just buy these shit characters, and I will get Dragon Man because I want a Dragon Man, especially if they do the modern Dragon Man with the spectacles. Like, yes. I'm in all the way. I am in all the way. But a funny side note, I was reading the X-Men animated. It's like the take on the House of the Power.
Yes, I know the one you mean.
Yeah. I got the issue 3, and it was going good. And I turned the page, and it's a fucking big ass brood, and I was like, "Fuck this, done, done. I don't care. I'll ask Alex how the story ends." Because they were like, I was like, "What?" I'm like, "Why? Why?" They were like, "Let me introduce them to my team," and one of them was like this huge hulking version of the brood, and I was like, "No. I closed that thing so quick. I'm like, nope, done. Guess I'm off this title. Like, I couldn't do it.
That's funny.
I can't do it. It's something. And I found the brood up in my fucking attic. I was going up there looking for something, and something moved. And I remember I put like because it was in like a cardboard box, like one of those like Christmas cardboard boxes where the handle moved and then the top came off, and I saw the fucking brood, and I was like, "Oh my god, why?"
Oh, that's rough.
And I put the thing back on and like stacked things on top of it, and I'm like, "Well, not going up on this part of the attic anymore." I don't know what it is. It's the only thing that gets me like that besides the alien queen from Alien. I can't do either of those. They've got similar designs. That's probably what it is.
Yeah.
Because she's got the brood head shape.
She does, actually. Now that you mention it, like, it's definitely like similarities, and I understand why you would design it that way, because I mean they're creepy. They're both creepy things, right? Like to have that the brood.
Xenomorphs are okay for me because they've got that like cone slick head or whatever. I don't know what it is. A xenomorph doesn't scare the shit out of me, but something that has that big flanged head that looks like, oh god, it's like a roach mixed with something. No, can't do it. I can't fucking do it.
That's funny.
Right. Yeah, dude. So I know I said we keep it Hasbro centric. I lied.
I figured at some point it would become non-Hasbro centric, and that's okay.
I already went through the Hasbro stuff basically.
Yeah.
So Todd McFarlane likes to announce everything he does, except he also doesn't like to announce things. I found the whole wave of superpowers at my Walmart.
Oh, really?
Oh, I scooped them up. But I also found figures that weren't even announced. So, like, he's on wave 2 or 3 right now. So I got Batman, Superman, Darkseid today I just grabbed, and John Stewart, which I didn't even know was out. And then I guess along with John Stewart, I'm hunting them now, is the Batman Who Laughs, Professor Zoom, and Wonder Woman, and Flash. So I'm all in for the Superpowers line. All in.
I mean,
Not
understandable.
not the vehicles, but I'm all in for the figures. They're just almost a perfect recreation. And I think it's cool how he's giving you characters you've never got before, like the Batman.
Mm-hmm.
So this makes me happy that we'll probably end up with Barda, Mr. Miracle, or then ones that we didn't get before, like, you know what I mean? We'll get maybe Blue Beetle and Booster Gold, all the kind of characters that we want. Like, they'll probably throw a Damian in. It's Todd McFarlane, so we probably won't get regular Robin. We'll get Damian, you know?
Yep, that makes sense to me.
I like it, though. And I got the Batwing, and I fucking love the Batwing. So, I mean, it's just that perfect mix of superpowers and 89 Batman with the blue coloring. I'm like, this is just fun. I didn't get the Supermobile, the like Superman ship that punches. I'm like, I'm not gonna get. I don't know. It's too kitschy for me. Like,
I didn't think I'd hear you say the words too kitschy.
yeah, it's a Kryptonian Matrix with long Inspector Gadget arms that punch. I'm like, yeah, I don't know. But if they do a retread of Darkseid's Apocalypse Destroyer,
Yeah.
oh my lord, I will get that because I loved that as a kid. That big purple ship that split into 3 ships. Man, was that fucking cool. So cool. But they already made Darkseid much smaller than his 80s Superpowers counterpart. He's like a little bit taller than the regular figures in the line. Whereas in the 80s, Darkseid was a good, he was probably like 3 or 4 inches taller, maybe 3 inches. So he was a good, beefy figure.
Do you know what I did see? I saw a comparison photo. Someone had one of the retro Sentinels next to just like a bunch of regular Legends, and it's bigger than the typical X-Men Legend, but it's not overpoweringly huge. And the comment was, I mean, it would work. High, a 5-point articulation. At the very least, it would work as one of the smaller Sentinels, but it's not. It's not perfect, but it will look good as like just like a bunch of them in the background sort of thing.
Well, you gotta remember the original Sentinels in like, what is it, X-Men 4? No, X-Men like 12 or something.
Yeah, there's one of the lower numbers. Yeah.
All right, it might be X-Men 11 because I think Juggernaut is 12. But they weren't that big.
No, they were not.
They were like 16. No, they weren't even that big. They were probably like 12 feet. They weren't that big. They were bigger than humans in the they were like twice the size of the X-Men.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? They weren't roof, but they weren't skyscraper tall. Now that's how I prefer my Sentinels. I like them skyscraper tall, like the HasLab. But it would be cool to have, some. What are they? 10 or 11 inch for the retros. I think they're like 11 inch.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. The retro Sentinels, I don't even think they're that big. I think they're closer to 8 or 9.
They're definitely bigger than 8. They might be 11.
Yeah.
Well, but regardless, they do work with your X-Men figures.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
And I like the detail on them. There's just enough. It's very animated-esque. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So I'm for those. But the Superpowers, that was out of left field, and that was like a dream wave of mine. I think we even said it during when we were asking for dream waves of like toys. I think I said I wish they would recreate the Superpowers so bad, and he recreated it. But I like how he did it other than Mattel. Mattel did it and like made them 6-inch and what they would look. I like how it's like a perfect recreate. It's kind of like the vintage collection with Star Wars. He's just hitting that button and like that nostalgia cap and making you like, okay, yeah, this is cool. And the cards are great recreations and everything. They just have the McFarlane logo. Kind of like how Origins is doing the same thing with the old Masters.
It's like the same packaging and everything. The Origins it's perfect.
It is, and it just says new for 22 or new for 21. Like, I love it. I like, and the Superpowers are big enough that, well, I should say they're not big enough that it will take up so much space, and I can like tack them on my wall.
Yeah.
And have a whole wall dedicated to them. You know what I mean?
I do. Yeah.
I think that's fantastic. Not everything's going to work like that, but those work for me. And I'm trying to cut down on the stuff that I do collect because I am moving. I'm actually looking at a place on Friday, so
nice.
Got to adult a little bit more, and it's rent ain't cheap at all, like at all. Rent ain't cheap, so I'm like, well, do I need 5 more Mezco figures, or do I need a really nice place for me and Brady? So that's what it's coming down to. I mean, I'm collecting stuff here and there, but not crazy. Like, and superpowers aren't breaking the bank. They're $9.99 a piece.
That's nothing really. Like at the end of the day, that's like what, depending on where you go, 2-3 cups of coffee.
Yeah, it's nothing. So like and they're a joy to collect. Like run into like a Walmart and they're sitting on the end cap. Oh, if I can't grab 5, I can grab 1 or 2, and then come back. I love it. I wish a lot of lines were like this. I mean, I really do wish Masters Origins Classics were $10 a piece, but I understand why they're not. They're 15, and that's fine. But when you start getting into like 30, 35 a figure like Marvel Legends, that's when you really got to get picky, and you got to be like, you know what? I don't need every legend to exist at this point.
No, you don't. You don't.
And not realizing that, Like I was thinking, I'm like, do I need Spider-Man and its Amazing Friends? I've already got Firestar. It's the exact same figure. This Spider-Man is a little bit different than the other Spider-Man, just a little bit. Do I need him? And my brain is like, well, of course you need him. But I'm like, I don't know. That one might be on the chopping block. Like Galactus and, not Galactus, Terrax and Airwalker, that I can't get rid of. I need a Terrax.
Right, but like when you've already got the 3 figures on their own, and yes, the Iceman is a much better paint job, but at the end of the day, it's still the same Spider-Man. It's the same Spider-Man you'll pick up from somewhere else.
Yeah,
like they're not spectacular, right?
No, the retro Spider-Man from 2020 with the red pins in him is really almost Spider-Man and his Amazing Friend Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Really close. So, I mean, I'm trying not to pick up every Spider-Man. You know what I mean?
I do. I do.
I picked up, obviously, Amazing Fantasy 15. That's a different story because it's, Black Deco, original Ditko Spider-Man with the blue spider on the back. Like, and, of course, I got the Mary Jane and Spidey, the Spinneret 2-pack. That's like, they're saying that is the best Spider-Man out.
Oh, I think so. I think that one, like, of all the Spider-Men that are out there, there's not many that you need, and I don't see the Amazing Friends one as being a necessary purchase.
No, and I had to have the animated Spider-Man from Walmart. That was a different story. That was out of left field. But I need something to pair with my animated Venom, and I'm hoping that breaks into an actual animated line. But I don't think so. I think they use the retro line as like a loose animated line.
I think so.
But I don't know. I'm just trying to be less of a completist. Like, I ordered the Batman and Joker Mondo. I'm glad I grabbed those because they actually showed up on Big Bad Toy Store with no deposit. I was like, oh, this is fantastic. Oh, no, they did have it. But it was a cheap deposit. And I was like, this is great. And they're coming out in 2023. So I'm like, I'm not worried about that. My She-Ra and my He-Man are both paid off. The He-Man, he was right up front. The She-Ra, she just got paid off. Yeah. So I just wait till those ship. And that's the good thing about the HasLabs, too. That's one thing I enjoy about HasLabs. Once it's painful tonight at 11:59, it goes away. I don't have to, keep paying on it. It's done. And then I just have to wait until next year.
Yeah, I can see why some people are unhappy about having to wait for the year, but that's it. That's how most crowdfunding works, right? Like at the end of the campaign, you pay it, and then you wait.
Yeah, crowdfunding, I'm all for that model, but a regular pre-order, no, I hate that shit.
Yeah.
Charge you when it comes in. And that's the one thing Hasbro Pulse does well, I got to say. They do not charge you until it arrives.
No.
And
No. No, I think like Amazon, GameStop do the same thing. Like charging you immediately, I think is a bit harsh because who knows how long it will take for it to get there. Now, in some ways, at least you know when you buy it there and then it's paid for and done, as opposed to when you get it and then like you've experienced all of a sudden you've got 4 pre-orders that come in at the same time. Some of them are earlier than others, and but I mean, at the end of the day, and I know we've got a hard stop coming up, so I really have no final thoughts beyond. At the end of the day, it's a hobby of collecting toys, right? So, as long as you're able to just have fun and do it and have fun with them, that's all that really matters. I don't think there's a right way or a wrong way for them to do the pre-order system when it comes to do you pay when it ships or do you pay immediately, because there's definite benefits to either one.
There's definitely a wrong way to do it, and it's the way Target and Walmart do it, I'll tell you. They're charging you up front, but then giving it back to you like 3 days later, and then charging you again when it comes in.
Yes.
Isn't it a model?
That is a stupid way to do it.
Like, because you forget it. You know, you're like, oh, I already paid for this. And all of a sudden, what? You're charging me again? I don't remember this. Like, yeah. So I learned that lesson so hard with my PS5. But no, that model where you get charged, you're like, all right, it's gone. And then they give it back to you, but you don't never check that it's coming back to you. And then it comes out again. Man, nothing hurt worse than the PS5 when that came out. That was awful. They charged me up front that night when I was like half asleep, and it jumped into my cart, which I'm grateful for. So I was like, all right, there goes the $600. It's gone. I don't have to worry about it. I'm all set. I'm good. Unbeknownst to me, it went back. And then on the day before it got shipped, they charged it again. And I'm like, what the fuck? And of course, it was right around holiday time. So I had like 10 things come in from Big Bad Toy Store at the same day. And I was like, what? So that was $1,000 day. It was just like,
oh, that sucks.
Killed me. And I don't like model. I don't know what the benefit of that model is.
It's that, like, it's got to be a like a shitty inventory thing where they charge you because if they don't charge you for it, it doesn't count as it being sold, but then they don't want to keep your money until it actually comes to them.
Right, I got you.
That's the only thing I can think of, because otherwise it just doesn't make sense. It doesn't.
Stupid. It's like, why are we doing it this way? We're just making it more difficult for these people. So, but yeah, tonight is another 3 hours. The Hiss Lab. I mean, the Hiss Lab.
I mean, technically, it is the Hiss Lab.
It is the Hiss Lab.
Yeah.
The Hiss Tank will be done and in the books, and it will be my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th Hiss Lab that I have purchased.
That is crazy.
It is.
It's gone up about 100. It's gone. It was 24.33. Now it's 24.569. So it's going up steadily at this point, even still.
Definitely, no matter what, clear 25.
Oh, 100%.
And they did the full renders and everything for Cobra Commander, full deco. They showed it today. He looks wonderful. But what really sold the Hiss Tank is the shots that they did at San Diego, and the ones that after. I don't know if you've seen them on Twitter. It's like 4 shots, and it's in action, and it's got the LEDs, and it's got the the troopers coming out the back, and then it's got the turret and everything from the inside. Oh man, if you didn't want it before, you watch this thing and you're like, I want it.
Yep. Oh, they did so well when it comes to getting people wanting it. Like, if you're a G.I. Joe collector, there would be no way you could not have this.
Can't resist it. Yeah.
No.
And the only thing that sucks is, like, so you're paying for this tonight for sure. It's coming out, and they charge you right at 12. It's not 11.50. Like, they charge you right at 12, because when my Proton pack that fucking came out at 12:01, I was like, wow. I thought they would charge you like maybe the next day. No, they charge boom right when it closes.
Right there and then. Yep.
So my suggestion would be for Star Wars, since we're just keeping on a HasLab tear for a few moments more. I hope they do the Star Cruiser from The Mandalorian season 2. That Mando had, the repurposed Anakin Star Cruiser.
Oh yes.
Whether they do it in the vintage collection, which is more likely, or they do it as a 12th scale,
Yeah.
Black Series.
Yeah. I think you're right. I think the vintage collection is more likely. I think the vintage collection lends itself better to vehicles.
But it's a long design. It's hollow. You got to remember they did the snow speeder, and that was like $119 or $140 retail. When the snow speeder is pretty impressive. I wish I went back and got that. So they did the Black Series snow speeder. This thing wouldn't have much more plastic than that because it's really, really thin with big wings on the side. So I think it could be done for like $250.
Mm-hmm.
In the Black Series, I really do. And you could do like a little bit of lights and things like that. I think it could be either $250 for that, or let's call it $300. That's probably going to be the magic number everyone sells on. But I think that should be their next thing they do. What other questions?
I hope so, because I think that would be fantastic.
Mando sells,
Yep.
And I would love my Grogu and my Mando Black Series sitting in there with maybe a little bit of lights and sounds, and that would just look beautiful.
Agreed. I often think about how could they have made the Rancor sell more, and I think if you'd have included Boba Fett specific things like from that show, you would have had a much better chance at it.
Yeah.
And Luke should have been one of the earlier tiers.
Luke should have been tier 1.
Yeah.
Luke should have been fucking tier 1 right out the gate. And then they gave him away anyway. So it's like you knew they were going to do that. That's the maddening thing about Hasbro.
Yeah.
They're going to. So, they always say, oh, he's going to be exclusive nowhere else. And then all of a sudden they snake their way in. It's just slightly different.
I mean, it's not a lie. It's different.
I know.
Kind of. Barely.
But yeah, that's really all my thoughts.
Yeah. No, I also have no final thoughts. So I guess at this point we'll hit play on the ending music, and we will catch you next time.
Hey, thanks for watching the previous video from Graphic Policy Television. Just by watching, you help support our site. Thank you so much. Now, if you're watching these videos, you probably care about geeky things like movies, television, comic books, toys, games, video games, you name it. You can go and subscribe right now to our YouTube channel to stay in touch and catch all the new videos, or check out our website at graphicpolicy.com. There's a nice link on this end of the video. But as always, thank you for watching. Keep on rocking and keep it geeky.